Hey, good afternoon, guys. Back another video here. It's typically not one I like to do. I wasn't quite sure I was even going to do this one, but over the past 2-3 years or whatever, I've had you know more emails and private messages than I can count on. Uh, you name things that pertain to the big if shit hit the fan and all that crap. Uh, it is what it is. Think what you want. I'm not gonna say, people that do that are wrong by any means. Everybody's got their things that they do. Um, like I said, it has to be hundreds of private messages here on YouTube about prepping type questions. If shit hit the fan, what about this and stuff like that. And I think I answered a few people. Again, this is stuff that I tend to stay away from. First of all, you don't know who the hell you're talking to. Um, I don't want to put out bad information, and I also don't want to do what that type of stuff does, which is put you on the radar. And I don't think for a second that you know you're not on the radar when you start posting videos about that crap, because you certainly are. I've been to military schools where I've learned some things, I'll just say. And every time I go to the airport now, even as a civilian, I'm on the radar just because I've been to certain type of classes and courses. So again, don't think for a second they're not going to be watching you, because they will. But one particular one I had was if I could do a video on different weapons. Weapons I would choose for survival / tactical purposes. I'm going to do my best at this. Again, this is a tough one for me. I might not even should be doing this, but we'll see how it goes. First of all, on a survival level, uh, that's totally two different things. You're talking survival / tactical. You know, um, survival, it's pretty much like what's your favorite knife type of question. I mean, everybody's different. Everybody has their favorite. Everybody has something that they're used to, maybe have grown up with, and they're comfortable with. Uh, for me, a bow and arrow is is what I would have. That might not be my first choice in a survival situation. Gun is always better. It's just a no-brainer. So what I have here for that, the all too familiar single shot 12 gauge. Is it the best gun? Maybe not. Again, it all depends on what you want. I would think, like a semi-automatic 12 gauge that has 5 shots to it would be a lot better. But there's other aspects, there's other variables that come into play with that, and that's mechanics. You have a semi-auto or auto, whatever you want to call it, 5-shot shotgun. There's moving pieces in there that can break on you. A single shot, anything, 12 gauge, 20 gauge, 410, whatever. There's not many moving parts. It's a barrel. You got the breech, you got the firing pin that hits the cap on the shell, and that's pretty much it. So there's not a whole lot on something like that can break on you. So it's gonna last you, if you're in a situation like that. Um, 12 gauge on a tactical level. I'm not even gonna go there. I'll just use your imagination, I guess. What else I have? I have a 22 mag long rifle. Survival. A 22, will just about take down anything. You get into real big game like moose and bear and shit like that. You might have a hard time, but then again, it's one well-aimed shot that's gonna do it. So if you hit even one of them animals in the right spot, they're going down. I don't care. Yeah, it's a 22, but it's gonna work. your primary shot on something like that is probably not right behind the front shoulder. You know, they're just too big. But it's not saying that it wouldn't work if you hit them in the right spot. The reason behind that for me is it's cheap, it's compact, it's not as heavy as some of the other ones. Even though this is a Savage, it's got a little bit of weight to it, but it's not bad. But it can get out there and touch someone too, you know, not someone, an animal, you know, at far distances. So, and they're pretty much out of the box, you know, they're pretty accurate. They got a lot of great reviews on them, and it's a small hole, ammo's cheap, you know, again, a lot of things that come into play with that type of choice. So that would be my two, or three, as far as a survival situation. So 12 gauge, 22, and I would have my bow, you know. You can always make arrows in the field, and I've argued this before too, in comments or private messages. Yeah, firearms should be your first choice in a survival situation if you could have one, because it's just so much easier to take game with them. Yet, a bow and arrow, if you run out of arrows, you can make more. You can nap points, you can fletch your own arrows, you can make them. That type of stuff can be done right here with the crap around you. Good luck to you when you run out of ammo, you know. If I run out of all the ammo I have to carry for this, that's another thing. You get into carrying more weight. How much ammo are you going to carry, you know? Yeah, I'm sure you can run across places here and there where you could stumble across some, maybe find some. But I mean, after you run out of ammo with something like this, it's pretty much a friggin' paperweight. You could crack the barrel open and use it to stoke your fire maybe, but that's about it. So, you know, it's a kind of a toss up there too. Yeah, firearms should probably be your first choice, but I would always have a bow and arrow just because it's an endless supply of ammo out here, and that's my reason behind that. The only other one I have right here is a 45 Ruger. This is what I carry for a sidearm. It's pretty nice. I've had it for quite a while now. Probably friggin' 12, 15 years, something like that. But it's got some cool things, some cool features. It's got an extra safety feature which some people don't like, meaning I could have a round chambered, but if a clip isn't in here, it's not going to fire, so it's an extra safety. You know, it is what it is. But when I went to purchase the handgun, you know, because I don't get into, you know, a lot of ballistics and crap like that. You know, I've done some sniper type training, so I do know some things, but it's not so important to me that I try to remember it all. But when I went to pick this up, there was a 9mm Beretta in the cabinet. There was a couple Glocks. One of the Glocks, I don't care for Glocks because I don't like the trigger system they have on them. Some people love it, I don't, but that's like the only safety, so I tend to stay away from that. But it was a beautiful looking pistol. I almost bought it, and then there was this one, and I kind of asked the guy, because I don't know everything, especially when I bought it. That was quite a while ago, and I asked him, hey, you know, what's the difference between these guns here? And he told me, well, if you want, when you pull the trigger, you know, if you had to shoot somebody, if and when you shoot them, if you want them to fall down, go with the 45. He's like, if you don't care about that, then you can go with a 9mm. So, you know, hey, I'll buy it. I'll take the 45. That's exactly what I'm looking for. So, purpose specific, you know. Survival situation, I can't see one where I'd need this, you know, unless it's against some idiot. But I find that probably one of your biggest weapons, you know, in a situation like that. And I always have thought about this and been in a couple situations where it made me think about something like this. Is you know, if I'm in America and something happens, you're all my brothers and sisters, you know, so hopefully I'd never have to come down to something like that. I wouldn't have to make a decision like that. And where I'm going with this is, again, you know, the biggest weapon you have on you is your brain, you know. So there's a lot of things you can do to deter or defer, you know, something like that happening, and that's just choosing the right things to say and knowing how to handle situations like that. So that's always your best bet. It should always be your first move. You know, you could talk yourself pretty much out of anything. You know, egos aside, let bygones be bygones, whatever the hell you want to call it. Usually you can diffuse a situation, you know, that may escalate to having to do something like that, just by words, you know. So highly recommend that. So again, the 45 on a survival level, you know, if you're out in the woods and a bear comes up on you or something, you know, it's probably reach for this over the 22, but I can't think of anything really. And again, to use it on somebody, you know, think about what you're doing, you know. Just take that pause and, you know, reconsider your options, reevaluate your options, and try to make the best informed decision that you can. So that's that. Again, not my favorite topic to talk about, but I did have quite a few requests to do it, so I tried my best. Hopefully answered your questions and showed you what you wanted to see, and that's about it. 12 gauge single shot, 22 mag long rifle, and a 45 Ruger is my choices, along with the bow and arrow. So thank you guys for tuning in. Sure, I'm gonna get some comments on this one, but hey, it is what it is, right? So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you soon with another one.